Hello everybody, welcome to my X5. Yes, of course, we've got, a special announcement, got a second-hand Bachmann Class 66, which of course is my second GBRF rate, and also second of Bachmann, of course. And of course, I got 66709 Sorrento, which is right over here, because I'll tell you in a minute why that's important. But of course, this one is its classmate 66709 Sorrento, which of course is, as you can see, is made as a anniversary to Mediterranean Shipping Company Logistics containers, and of course the Kerno Model Centre. Now, of course, saw this on the website. Of course, it said that the last owner didn't use it as much. So, but I know that with me, this is going to be used quite a lot. So, course, right there, of course, is history. Of course, this is the Bachmann's version, but it's usually better seeing it from the perspective of a cure scale, which hopefully a bit later, slightly bit later on down the line, you never know, I will be pre-ordering the 66724 Drax Power Station a cure scale. And that will mean that GBRF and Depot will have, not GBRF and Depot, I mean GBRF and DB Cargo have the same amount of locomotives on my railway as each other. So, of course, locomotive comes out like that, and this is where, and of course, inside the Kerno Model Centre, of course, it's like a some kind of, well, it's more or less a talking about the life of the GBRF Class 66, of course, 66709 Sorrento, and of course, but it's more or less also a certificate, more or less. Now, I don't know if this is older or newer than the 66709 cents. However, it more or less has a different kind of talk about different type of parts on the locomotive. So of course it tells you about your hooks, talks about tail lights, and a lot of other things, but it also has a product warranty on it, and it's more or less got Bachmann collector's plug on it, so it has a warranty, service request, and product maintenance and care tips, all in one small bit about the train. So, with locomotives, of course, you got spare bits, which is a couple of your pipe works things, and of course your bumpers, of course, which of course that will of course help bring back the one that I lost on Sorrento. But that, well, I'm not sure if that's actually different to the ones that I used on scents. I don't know. I think it's more or less the same actually. So, last thing to do is to get the locomotive out. And there it is. GBRF rate class 66, number 66709 Sorrento. Now, of course, this got Mediterranean, the special sub-livery of the Mediterranean Shipping Company on it. It doesn't, unlike 66, class 66 you see before, it doesn't have, which is this one, it doesn't have those nameplates that you can, separate nameplates that you can glue on. Of course, it's still got your driver on the one side, which is on this side, but I would be using the other side since I actually like using the other side so much. So of course I will need to do some things to it in order for it to be allowed to be moved in the one direction. And I think it's best safe to say that's so. So I'll remove the hook from that side, which is actually on the floor. And I just dropped it again, about right in it. And then put that hook on the other end. And then find these to get out one of these front bumpers. And then we'll be ready to show. Sorrento as long as I can open this. One more. There we go. Got everything out. So then we can pop on the new bumper. So there's the bumper. Of course, when the train turns the corners, it usually tends to actually move it more or less slightly upwards, but I think it's safe to say it doesn't matter now. So, of course, the other thing is to show that Bachmann hasn't done rotating axle boxes at all with these models, which of course is something that it could improve on, but to be fair, it's more or less like a type of fashion accessory type of thing, so I can't usually always take those stuff for granted, unlike with a Cura scale, which has that fashion accessory. Okay. So the train's ready on the track, and of course I'm going to have to use my light a little bit because it is winter and it is a dark day of late. But as you can see, the train is perfect. Definitely perfect looking. For a Bachmann train, I think I really like this one. Maybe even over 667 cents. So, with that said, let's get on with the train to move. There's the thing, there's the number it's going to, of course. But yeah, just like I said, the front bumpers moved only slightly forward. Not as much there. But it will probably just keep doing that over time though. I'm also going to have to take off that little bit of extra hook length. And of course the train, because it's a bit like my Sense locomotive, it's going to of course need everything's going to it, but of course over that MSC is on the very corners of the train, more or less has impressions of what 66724 what it may look like, but of course it's similar. But the thing is, the closest that it has similarity this train has to the others is 66763, because of course of those edges has got those blue red Europort colours to it. But of course the other side is not really going to be bumpered or anything because, well, just because it's because having that because it won't allow the train to be worked normally. Yeah, so that about wraps up the first look and beginnings of using this locomotive. So next thing I need to do is I'm going to need to do some little detailing things and see if I can do the same to 66711 as well. So of course there will be a demonstrational video which I've already got more or less set up, which was supposed to be for 415 You Are Never Alone, but we'll do it with 66709 Sorrento. So don't go anywhere because there will be a part 2.